Another rise and shine yoga practice starting now. So grab whatever you need for class. Hopefully something nice and warm and cozy you're wearing. Maybe some blankets, maybe some pillows, maybe some blocks, whatever you need to be comfortable. That's what we're aiming for. And we're, of course, as we have done many a times, we're finding a position that's comfortable for us so we can be in for a few minutes. My name is Jen, if we haven't met. Hi, I'm leading you through a nice, gentle rise and shine practice. What that means is for every time that we maybe build a little bit of heat, we take the chance to back off and let that heat dissipate. If we do something that's kind of medium intensity, I'll also give things that are maybe a little bit harder of an option and things that are a little bit easier of an option, depending on how you're using this class. If you're using this class to warm up and get ready for your day, maybe you want something a little bit harder, maybe. But if you're using this class as a way to de-stress for bed at night, the opposite of a rise and shine, but that's okay. Maybe you want to tone everything down a little bit more. So we give kind of options both ways. So we're in the position, whatever position you want that's most comfortable for you. And we're going to be here for 3 minutes today, really concentrating on our breathing. So I'm going to get you started and then I'm going to be quiet for those 3 minutes so you can do what you need to do. So the breathing is totally up to you. I'm not going to lead you through any specific breathing, but you can do that. Inhale for 7 seconds, hold for 7 seconds, out for 7 seconds. You can do that. You can do more of an ocean breath where you're really kind of focusing on the exhale. You can just focus on breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth, in through one nostril, out the other, whatever you want to do. 3 minutes, starting right now. Feel free to close your eyes. All right, take 2 more slow, deep breaths. And then we are very slowly going to stand on up. However you get there is totally your call. It all depends on obviously what position you were in. All right, I'm going to be facing you in the middle of my mat, but feel free to stand towards the front of your mat. wherever you can comfortably see. And I'm just gonna have my hands down, my palms out. I'm gonna spread my feet a little bit so my hips, knees, and ankles are in one line. My depth or width between my feet is gonna be up to my body. I'm going to take some big breaths in and lift those shoulders up and then come back down. Up and back down. Up and back down. Now we're going to come forward, up and back. Still those palms are facing forward. Let's go the other way. Come back to the center. And let's just swing those arms a little bit. In front. And then behind. Come back to the center. Let's cross one leg over the other. So in this particular case, it's my right leg and I'm crossing over. You can do your left, that's totally fine. But if my right's coming over, my right arm is gonna come up, straight up. And I'm doing a nice stretch all the way down. And let's release. Let's cross the other leg over and bring that other arm straight up. And then release. Let's switch it out again. This time when that arm comes up, let's come up and over. And release. Other side. Let's come up and over. And if you need to hold on for balance, please do. Trying to make sure that we're leaning the same amount on each side if possible. And come back to center. Let's take those arms, come up overhead, bend those knees generously. We turn sideways. Have those hands come down to the feet and slowly lift up. Let's do that 2 more times. Let's come up. Let's lean forward and bend those knees. Hands come down. And roll it up. One more, come up. And lean forward. Hands on the feet. And then come up. Bend those knees a lot so we have flat back. So I was here, kind of arched. I want to flat back. My hands are on my thighs. My shoulders are back and down. Just going to drop one shoulder. I'm going to come back to the center and drop the other shoulder. I'm going to come back to the center. I'm going to drop the first shoulder and then drop the hand. Back to center. Drop the other shoulder. Drop that hand. Come back up. One more time, drop the shoulder and drop the hand. And then if you want to take the other hand off, you can bring it straight behind you or bring it back behind your back. And come on up and switch out, shoulder, hand, and then bring that arm either straight up behind or bring it back behind your back. Back to the center, roll it on up. Beautiful. Let's take those shoulders, let's lift them up and squeeze, 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 and then just drop them down. 2 more like that. Come on, squeeze, 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 and drop. And Squeeze, 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 and drop. And shake out those arms. All right, so we're gonna do a little bit of some little bitty chair poses. So if you have a bench by you and you wanna physically just kind of hover above it, great. It's a great visual and tactile point. You can feel it kind of behind your thighs. Otherwise, we're gonna bring our arms out in front. Use it as a counterbalance and just sink those hips back and hold. For 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. And come on up. We're gonna go down a little bit each time, up to where you feel comfortable. If you don't wanna go down lower, that's totally fine. Arms out in front. Let's come down a little lower. For 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1, and up. Again, arms out in front. Can we get a little lower? For 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1, and come up. And we're gonna go one more time. Arms out in front. Come down as low as you feel comfortable. For 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1, and come on up. Hold on for balance and just swing a leg front to back. And let's swing the other leg. All right, so we're gonna do those chairs, the same thing, a little, a little, a little, a little. And we're gonna add in a little bit of a twist. So we're gonna spend 5 seconds twisting one way, then we're come back to the center, and spend 5 minutes twisting the other way per segment. So there's 4 segments, like I did before, okay? So instead of my arms being out here, they're gonna be in a prayer position. And if that's too much, that's totally fine. You can keep it out. And then we're gonna go one to the center and to the other. All right, so the first one is a nice shallow squat. So let's bring those arms in front into a little prayer position. Little drop and twist for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Center. Other side for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, center, and come up. So we're holding those squats a little bit longer. Take a second. Round number 2. And if you want to spend all 4 of these rounds up nice and high, that's totally fine. All right, let's squat down a little more. And twist. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Center. Twist for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, center, come on. Ready for round 3. Go down a little bit more this time. Coming down. Twist. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, center. Twist. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, center, and come up. This last one, I'm gonna go down far enough where I can physically put my arm on my thigh. If that floats with you too, welcome, join me. If not, not a problem, but that's just where I'm intending to go for this last one. And we won't do any more. All right, arms in front. Let's calm down and twist for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Center and twist for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Center, come up. Let's hold on for balance and just swing the foot. Front to side, in front of the leg and side to side. And let's go behind. Make sure you're not going to hit anything. Other leg in front. Beautiful. All right, let's come to the front of our mat. Let's bring those arms up. Let's swan dive down. Bring those hands to touch the feet, and then bring one foot back and the other foot back, and then come to one knee and come to the other knee. Sit back on those heels. And let's just do a nice twist without having to worry about our balance. And the other way. Beautiful. Let's come into a downward dog position. We're going to be here a couple seconds, so take your time. And remember, if you've never been to this class before, you will see that my hamstrings are very tight. I'm working on it, but they still are tight. And so I need to bend my knees a lot in my downward dog. And that's totally fine. I'm not going to not practice yoga because of it, surely. Two more breaths here. And then drop back to the knees. Come into our tabletop and just shake an imaginary tail side to side. And then come a little front to back. So we're moving and pivoting on those wrists. If you want, you can lean forward and hold for a couple seconds if that feels okay. If that's too much, obviously do not. And release. And it's all on the same line. You can tuck those toes under, and when you lean back, you can hold it here and stretch out the feet a little. If that's too much, we don't do it. Let's lean forward and do those wrists again. And lean back for the feet. Try and make sure that all the toes are on the ground. And one more time, forward. And one more time, back. Beautiful. Come back to the center, release those toes. Come on to the forearms. And let's just bring one leg back. Doesn't matter which one. We're going to bend that knee and open up that hip to the side. Come back to the center. Straighten that leg, bring it back on in. Other side, other leg, straighten that leg. You bend that knee and open it up to the side. Back to the center, straighten that leg and bring it back in. Let's come back on to all fours. We're going to take leg A, straighten it out, point those toes down. We're going to pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend that knee, bring it in. And put that foot on the ground in front, right in the middle of those two hands. When we're ready, we're going to roll up. Our back knee is still on the ground. And our hands can be on our hips until we get ourselves situated, or they can stay there, that's totally fine. Or our arms are going to come up. Fingers are facing up. Palms are facing in. And we're going to come to a cactus shape with those arms. Really pulling back, opening up the chest. And let's bring those hands together in our prayer pose. And let's twist here like we did when we were in our chair. those hands to the inside of our foot. I'm just going to move that foot a little bit, a couple inches over to the edge of the mat. And then we're going to lean in, stretching right in here. We should feel a stretch also on our bent leg and our quad. But nothing should be painful. Okay, we're going to release. We're going to take that leg that was bent, we're going to bring it back behind us, and we're going to pulse again for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. All right, ready for the other side? So let's reposition our hands right underneath because they were in a different position when we were doing our last posture. All right, so let's bring that leg B. Let's get back behind and pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's bring that knee in and pop that foot right between the two hands. All right, we can come up, put our hands on our hips, get situated, make any adjustments that we need to. And we're going to bring those arms up, fingertips pointing up to the sky, palms facing each other. And we're going to open up to our cactus shape. And then bring those hands to the center. And let's twist the other way. Now let's release. Let's come back to the center. Bring those hands to the ground and move that foot over a little bit to the side of the mat. We're going to lean on in and stretch those hip flexors. And then we're going to release. We're going to bring that leg back behind, out straight, and we're going to pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Let's sit back on our heels. Roll those shoulders. Roll those shoulders the other way. And then take our knees, move them apart, and come into child's pose for 5 nice slow breaths. And then very slowly, we're going to roll back up. We're going to bring those knees back together, and we're going to go back into our downward dog. All right, so we're going to do that same thing we did before, but we're going to do it up a little higher. All right, so we're going to lift one leg up behind, and we're going to pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to bring that knee in. We're going to put that foot on the ground. Our knee is lifted this time. We're going to roll on up. Have our hands on our hips. Make our stance as wide as you need to. And when you're ready, fingertips up, palms face each other. And then bring those hands to this cactus position. Feel bowl shape. hands together, and we're gonna twist. Take your time, get your balance. Release, come back to the center. Bring those hands down to the ground. And this time we're gonna take if my right foot's in front, I'm gonna put my right hand on the ground. My left hand is gonna come up and I'm gonna twist. I'm gonna bring that hand back down. And I'm gonna bring that leg back through downward dog and up and pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come down. And I want you to come all the way down to the belly. We're going to do the other side. We're going to rest here for a second. We're going to have your ear on your hands. We add some heat, and then we take it away. And then look the other way. Okay, let's push back through tabletop. We're going to do that same thing on the other side. So we're starting in our downward dog. All right, lift leg B and pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that knee in and place that foot on the ground. Slowly rolling on up. Hands on the hips. Get situated, and then arms go up. Palms facing each other. And then come to our cactus arms. Bring those hands together. And let's twist. Nice and slow in, nice and slow out. And then come back to the center. Let's put that hand on the ground. So if my left foot is on the ground, my left hand is on the ground, and my right arm comes up in the air. Bring those hand back, and let's bring that foot back behind through our downward dog up to the air and pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop it down, and let's lower all the way down to the belly. One more time. All right, so this time put your forehead right on top of your hands. Bend those knees, and we're just going to windshield wiper the legs a little side to side. Massage out those quads. Pick one way and hold. And the other way, and hold. Come back to the center, straighten those legs. All right, let's come to a little Sphinx. Forearms are on the ground, fingertips are spread nice and wide, and we're dropping that head. we're turning and facing one way. And the other side, turning and facing the other way. We're coming back to the center. And if everything is wonderful and fine here and you want to stay here, that's totally fine. Otherwise, we're going to straighten out those arms and come to either flat palms, or we can make little tents with our fingertips, whatever works best. Now we're just going to increase that stretch a little bit. Shoulders back and down. I'm going to stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and come on down. Okay, so now let's push ourselves back up, and let's come in to tabletop and do some cat-cows here. So our shoulders and our wrists and our elbows are all lined up. I'm not super far forward, super far back. And if I physically need to slide a little forward and back to make sure that I'm getting myself into a neutral spine, please take that time to do so. All right, so I'm in a nice neutral spine. And let's make that a Halloween cat. And let's make that Halloween cow. Why not? And one more time to our cat. And one more time to our cow. All right, come to a neutral spine, and then we're going to swing those legs around. If you want to grab some water, this is a great time. We're going to try to cool it down a little bit. All right, so I'm going to bring one foot in and one foot out and point those toes up to the ceiling. And I'm going to take a little drink of water. Okay, and I'm just going to move that foot a little side to side, roll out that calf a little bit, and then I'm going to tuck that foot in a little bit more, and I'm going to lean forward right in this opening right here. So I'm feeling a stretch in this hamstring. I'm maybe feeling the stretch in that calf, depending on how high up my toes are. But I'm not reaching towards this foot, I'm just reaching towards this middle space here. Shoulders back and down. I'm going to come up, and now I'm going to pivot. So I'm reaching towards that foot. And I'm going to come up, and I'm going to turn a little sideways, kind of out this way towards the side. And I'm not reaching forward, but if I want to lean forward a tiny bit, I can, but it's more of a twist here than anything.